Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again with another episode of A Nation United, my Finland-based franchise mode right here on NHL 19, and the Finns are back in the postseason with the most complete squad we have had in this series yet. It took some wheeling and dealing. We had the offseason nonsense with the re-signing of Capo, but it has led to arguably the best squad, the most well-rounded squad that we have had to date. And off the back of the Finns' win in the World Championship, hopefully that winning form continues in this episode today. Now, the big thing leading into this first-round matchup against the Florida Panthers, well, that big thing standing between the pipes for them, it is a certain goaltender that we traded to acquire Thomas Jukka Laakso, who became expendable once we moved on and acquired Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. He is an 88 overall at 23 years old, a former second-round pick of ours. The hope is that we were going to be a competitive team before Laakso was ready. That did not, well, in a way it happened, but there's a difference between competitive and successful. And we haven't been successful, as I was hoping that we would be. And honestly, when you look at this squad, I don't know if that's going to change, as they have, three premier Finns who would be great additions in the form of Eero Niemi, Sasha Barkov, and Aleksi Heponiemi. It's like looking into a mirror, this team. My God. We will start off with Eero Niemi. Obviously the playoff points don't matter, but in the regular season, 64 points, 37 goals for him, a legitimate first-line guy. He was the number 2 overall pick back in 2021. Sasha Barkov speaks for himself. He's 31 years old at this point. Back-to-back 60-point seasons, had a 91-point season at one point, though, but obviously in real life, the perennial Selke candidate. He's going to take over for Bergeron as the guy who just wins it year in and year out. But obviously ridiculous. And then Jonathan Huberdeau, still an 88 overall at 33 years old. 50-point season this time out. 52 to be exact. We go to the second line, 27-year-old Andrei Bobrovsky, not Andrei Burakovsky. The 8th overall pick in the 2018 draft, which of course does not exist. That was the supplemental draft that happens whenever you do an expansion series. So he should not exist, but he does. Only 44 points this year, but 23 goals. He is centered by Heponiemi, 85 overall at 28 years old, fresh off of a career-high season, 60 points this year. And on the right-hand side, Owen Tippett, a rebuilding Hockeytown legend, 68 points in this past season. We go to the third line. Mike Hoffman, at 37 years old, is still a Panther, only 29 points this year, a drastic drop-off over the past 2 seasons. He's centered by Mitch Stevens, former second-round pick of the Tampa Bay Lightning, 29 points for him, a little bit of a drop-off compared to what he had done over the past few years. On the right-hand side, Tyler Benson, who is fresh off of a 26-point season. He struggled to carve out a regular NHL spot over the past few years. Go to the fourth line, Toby Lindberg, 31 years old at this point, 28-point season, not too shabby. Centered by Jared Scarabelli, the third-round pick in that supplemental draft of the Anaheim Ducks. 19 points. This was his first NHL season. And on the right-hand side, Andrei Petrov, fifth-round pick of the Lightning in 2021. 24-year-old put up 19 points in his rookie season. That is a very well-rounded team. The top 6, say what you want, but it's still very well-rounded. The top 6 is still very dangerous. We go to the defense, and it doesn't get any easier, because why would it? So they have a good goaltender, pretty good forward core, and that defense, at least that top pairing, is outrageous. Cody Tutu, the 10th overall selection in 2020, an 89 overall, 41-point season, nearly beat his career high, nearly tied his career high of 42 a couple of years ago. And then Aaron Ekblad, 31 years old at this point, but fresh off of a 47-point regular season. We go to the second pairing, Mike Matheson, 83 overall, 23 points in the regular season. He's on that second pairing with the former Eagle, another former second-round pick of the Eagles, Ville Heinola, the 83 overall. And, of course, we know he is not a big point getter. Third pairing, Connor Timmins, who in real life is an Avalanche pick, who's actually in real life struggled with injury issues, but we still put him into the game. 19 points this year. He's actually struggled to make it to the NHL throughout this series. Jalen Correa is also on that third pairing. First-round pick, 18th overall in 2023. He is fresh off of an 11-point year in his rookie season. I'd like to think we can beat this team, but boy, does that look like the type of team that's likely to beat us in the playoffs, especially in an upset in the first round. Now, one thing I want to mention before we get into it, and I've been asked lately, especially with the series we've been running on Twitch, doing viewer picks, that's what I meant to say. As far as any settings, now I have, after poking around and taking suggestions from you guys, also my good buddy X-Tech, this is what I've come up with to be able to make sure that the sim numbers are a little bit higher, the scoring numbers are a little bit higher within franchise mode. These are the only things that change anything within the sim, at least from my experience. So post-whistle rules are on anything goes. Fighting's all the way up to try and encourage more penalties. Icing and offsides are off. That's an X-Tech suggestion. I know I don't think he came up with that. Maybe he did, but whatever. Penalties up to 4. Trapezoid can still stay on. From there, nothing else is overly important aside from penalty time scaling being all the way up. And for gameplay sliders, the only thing that matters is this general tab. Attribute effect, I have it 10 out of 10. None of these matter. These only affect the in-game sim. You can put every shooting category up to 100, every goalie stat down to 0. It won't change anything. Just the general tab and the rules tab. That's all you need to do. So, just to let you know on that front. With that said, I think it's time to get this postseason underway. Are we going to be able to get off on the right foot here and make our way back to the Cup final? I can only hope. The road, the journey starts here. Game 1 in Finland. Let's do this. First period is scoreless. 13 shots to 11 in favor of the Panthers. Second period is not scoreless. Florida gets the opening 2 goals. Stevens and Bobrovsky. Ludman gets us back into it. We're being outshot 30-20, and we're down 2-1 on the board. But Tommy Ludman's goal could be what we need to get back into it. Killing off a Florida power play early on doesn't hurt either. Exchanging power play chances here as we hit the halfway point of the third. We need a goal. Power play for the Panthers. Killed off again. Do we have what it takes to get a late goal and force overtime? It's not looking good, and all of a sudden it is. Mikko Rantanen. 1:03 remaining. This game is tied just when it looked like it was going to go poorly and end in regulation. Finally, we find a way to beat Laakso. Mikko Rantanen. They've outshot us 43-29, but we are going to overtime regardless. So again, goals from Ludman and Rantanen. We go to OT. As far as who wins it, no idea. Let's just hope it's for our team. Here we go. Can we pull off what looks like it would be an upset? Yes, we can. I want to say it's an upset. It's at least a come-from-behind victory. Juho Lamikko, not sure why a fourth liner would have been on the ice just over 3 minutes into overtime, but it worked out tremendously well. 44 shots to 32, but we walk away with the 3-2 victory. Rantanen the hero, tying it with 1:03 left. Lamikko the winner in overtime. And fair play to who I guarantee is going to be the first star of the game, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. 42 saves. Absolutely tremendous. That fourth line, crucial in the victory. And again, the tying goal from Rantanen. It's not exactly as you would prefer to win. A come-from-behind victory that ultimately results in us getting the win in OT. But hey, a win's a win. It's all that matters in the playoffs. We go to Game 2 with a decent little chance here to take a 2-0 series lead back with us to the United States, all the way down to sunny Sunrise. First period of Game 2, and that is one hell of a start. one hell of a positive start compared to the last game. Simon Tyval and Brad Lambert, it is 2-0. We more than doubled them up in shots, 15-14. That's not what it was, 15-7. They would have had 14 on the double up is the point I was going to make. Don't worry about it. Details aren't important here, except for the fact that it's 2-0 on the board. Second period, it's not 2-0 on the board anymore. Oh boy. Bobrovsky and Hoffman. 23 shots to 18. Third period. Anybody's game at this point. 2 goals for us in the first, 2 goals for them in the second. Who wants to win this one more? We are going to find out here eventually as we hit the halfway point of the third. Trading power play chances, but nothing doing. We still have the advantage in shots, although not by much. Under 3 minutes left in regulation. Is there another late winner? There is not, unless you describe late winners as an OT winner. It's about as late as it could possibly be. We're going beyond regulation, overtime, for the second time in this series in just 2 games. It's becoming a little bit of a trend. Who's gonna win it? Don't know. Don't care. Just let it be for somebody on our team. Here we go. Overtime in game 2. Can we get the W? Please, please. Yes. Yes, sir. Brad Lambert's 42 shots to 29. They outshot us in the first game. We outshoot them in the second game. And regardless, the result is the same. A 3-2 overtime victory. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Brad Lambert leading the way. Mission accomplished thus far. Back-to-back 3-2 overtime victories. And we head back to the US of A with a beautiful 2-0 series lead. And all the pressure in the world is now on the Florida Panthers. Granted, there's pressure on our team to close this down. Shut them down and end this as soon as possible. Very nice 69 saves there for Luukkonen. But a lot of pressure on the Panthers here to get back into this one. I want to check that third line. No, okay, 1 point from someone amongst the third line. They've had a little bit of a rough start. But again, 2-0 lead. Not too concerned. Game 3 is upon us. Let's see if we can get the job done yet again and really put the pressure on Florida. We defended home ice. Can the Panthers do the same? First period is scoreless, and they nearly doubled us up in shots, 15-8. Second period, and it's a goal apiece. Mikko Rantanen and Scarabelli, 26 shots to 19 in their favor, but we are tied on the board heading into the third period. Again, this could go either way. These games have been so close thus far in this series, despite the fact that you could argue we have the stronger team on paper. Mike Hoffman gets the goal just before the halfway point. It's 2-1. Will there be a late goal, or will the home team remain to be undefeated at this point? Late tying goal is not going to be there this time. Oof, insult to injury. The empty netter for Korea. Huberdeau with 52 seconds left. And the Panthers are not out of this series. 4-1 is your final Loxo, 30 saves. And that is what we were afraid of. A great performance from the young goaltender. And the Panthers are right back in this series. Would it have been worth waiting for him to be ready? Maybe, maybe not. But we're having to deal with the consequences of trading him now. It's a very important game 4. Either the trend will continue and the home team will continue to win, or we're going to buck that trend and have a chance to end this series in 5 back on home ice. First period, 2-1 Panthers. Huberdeau gets the opening goal. Capocacco ties it, but Mike Hoffman strikes again 55 seconds later. 15 shots to 12, but we are down 2-1 through the opening 20 minutes of game 4. Second period, make it 3-1. Heponiemi's first goal of this series, and the Panthers are just 20 minutes away from tying this series at 2 games apiece. We see it go down this way oh so often. Bobrovsky makes it 4, and the Panthers, oh my God, the Panthers. Barkov makes it 5. Barkov makes it 6. We are just being battered. My God. Breaded Eagle is on the menu, apparently. Do you want the wing or the thigh? And again, maybe this frickin' Panthers are going to just devour us whole at this point. 6-1 the final. An absolutely embarrassing effort on the road as we only scored 2 goals. And this series is tied. It was looking so good off the back of multiple 3-2 victories, consecutive 3-2 victories. Then we go to Florida, where we're outscored 10-2 over the course of 2 games. And needless to say, that does not put us into a very good spot. I mean, the likelihood of us winning, if the home team winning thing continues, fairly high. But something has to change. I think the obvious here is at least make a change amongst the top 6, swap Lambert and Simon Tyval. That third line has been completely ineffective. The fourth line's been okay, to the point where I don't think I want to break them up. But I'm not sure what to do then with the third line that's been ineffective. I suppose the only real choice would be drop Louis, which isn't ideal. But you know what? We gotta do what we gotta do here. I'm just gonna put Samuel Louis as the center of the third line as we try to jumpstart any sort of offense we can get. Our third pairing has been violently assaulted, so we'll have to make a change. It'll be Nudivara and Tiervainen, even though Risto and Tiervainen haven't been that bad. 10 penalty minutes for Tiervainen. Can't help but think he's the one who helped the Florida Panthers power play quite a bit in the last game. Luukkonen down to a .915 save percentage. Say what you want about the team playing in front of him, but he has the ability to steal us games. He hasn't done so over the last 2. We go to a crucial Game 5. We need the home team winning trend to continue, or our backs are against the wall in the first round. First period of Game 5, 1 goal apiece, Rantanen and Barkov. Second period, a little bit more than 1 goal apiece. Bobrovsky makes it 2-1. Rantanen ties it. Bobrovsky strikes again. The Panthers have the 3-2 lead here in Game 5 as we go to the third period. We need to win this one. Lambert scores on the power play. We have another power play chance right after, but we can't do anything with it. We are tied at 3. Power play chance yet again. 5-on-3. Now an extended 5-on-4. Brad Lambert scores again. Beautifully done. Florida power play goes to waste, but Aroniemi ties it. 5-on-5. Still effective. That's not where you want to see a goal go in from. And for the third time in 3 games here on home ice, we go to overtime. It is 4-all, a win, and we have the commanding 3-2 series lead. A loss, and we face elimination in Game 6 back in Florida. Again, I don't care who wins I care who wins, but I don't care who scores the winner as long as it's for our team. Overtime. Do we have what it takes to go 3 for 3 in terms of overtime victories? We do not. Scarabelli wins it. 5-4 is your final. The Panthers have won 3 straight games, and we will be facing elimination in Game 6. The dream of making it back to the Stanley Cup Final, and that dream could be dead in just the first round alone. Bottom line is, Luukkonen has not been good enough. It's not to the point where I'm going to start Husso. It's a 93 overall goalie. We're going to live and die by what he does. But Peltonen and Nudivara have been ripped to shreds. Torn asunder, I say. We need to split up Nudivara, Tiervainen, and Peltonen. We have to. So top line, Tiervainen's been the strongest of the 3. We'll go Tiervainen, Nudivara, and Peltonen. And I think what we'll do, who's been better between Juolevi and Heikkila? Heikkila 1 point and an even. Juolevi 1 point. Yeah. We're going to go for Olli Juolevi. So we'll go Juolevi and Tyrväinen. The better shot belongs to Juolevi. Hikola and Nutivaara. Let's go with Nutivaara on the right, and then Peltonen and Risto. That's fairly straightforward. Offensively, again, despite the fact we have some guys who could be called up, we're going to stick with the team that got us to this point. It's just who plays where. Lemico outside of the winner has been ineffective. Pirnez and Koivula, that fourth line, struggling. Then again, everyone's struggling. Louis has been terrible. Borgstrom has been terrible. Bjorkqvist and Simon Tyval haven't been much better. So the weakest member of that fourth line has been Koivula. And he will play with Borgstrom and Louis. As devastating as that is, Lemico, Pirnez, Lehkonen might not be the worst way to go. Although I gotta be honest, I don't really want to bump Pirnez and Lemico up to a top role, but you know what? I mean, what else can you do with these players underperforming the way that they are? Aside from just leave it and hope for the best. I don't think I'm going to drop Simon Tyval all the way down. It's just between Pirnez and Lemico. I'm going to trust Pirnez. So let's go with, and again, Ludman's been very quiet. Let's go with Kakko, Lambert, and Rantanen. Pirnez, Simon Tyval, and Ludman. Bjorkqvist. Lemico can play center. And Lehkonen on the right. Borgstrom, Louis, and Koivula. We are in desperation mode at this point, having to break up lines and combos that I never thought we'd have to break up, but we got to throw whatever we can at the wall, see what sticks. Otherwise, again, we will have been bounced in the first round by numerous former Eagles that are currently on the Florida Panthers. Game 6, first period, and it's a goal apiece. Huberdeau and Lambert again doing everything he can to keep us in this. Second period, Florida has the lead. Jonathan Huberdeau. We are 20 minutes away from going home in the first round in what would be not quite a Tampa-level disappointment, but pretty damn close. At the very least, a Winnipeg-level disappointment if we were to equate it to the real-world playoffs. As we do tie it, Samu Louis, welcome to the playoffs. Thanks for finally showing up. 5 minutes left. Are we destined for overtime again? Power play chance goes to waste. And for the fourth time in this series, we go to overtime. We are 2-1 in extra frames. This is it. The season on the line. I am so tempted to jump in. If it was a Game 7, I would, but for now, we're not going to. We're going to hold off. We got this. We don't need to jump in because we're going to win, and it's going to be fine. Season on the line. Overtime here in Game 6. Is the season over? Or is there a Game 7 to be played back home? Otto Koivula, 1 minute and 6 seconds in. Told you there was no reason to watch. We got the job done. Huberdeau may have been the first star, but Luukkonen pulled his own weight, and Koivula proves to be the unlikely hero. We are going to Game 7. Winner goes on to play the New Jersey Devils. The question is, who will it be? Could it have gone any other way? We are going to reset the lines. I am going to go with the team that got us here. We're going to reunite the combos. I know it's risky, especially with how well Lambert's played, but we're going to throw our best units out there and see what the hell happens. Which scares me to death. But I am going to revert back to what got us here and just try to make the most of it. It's Game 7. I know players are underperforming, but this is the time to say, okay, this is our best version of our team. Even if right now certain players are underperforming. we have to throw the best possible lineup out there that we can. And this is it. For Florida, best of luck. See you on the other side. Let's do this. Game 7. No other changes to be made. No contemplation of, oh, should this guy be on the second line or third line? No. We throw our best lines out there. Sink or swim. Game 7 here on home ice. First period, we're down 2-1. Aaron Niemi scores. Rantanen ties it. But Bobrovsky makes it 2-1. Second period, and this one's all tied up at 3 going down the stretch. Huberdeau makes it 3-1. Ludman and Koivula both strike. Koivula with 56 seconds left in the period. And we are tied at 3 apiece heading into the third period of Game 7. This is a complete toss-up. Here we go. The next goal likely to win it. Power play chance for the Eagles goes to waste. Under 12 minutes remaining. We're over the halfway mark. Power play chance again for the Eagles. Rasmus Ristolainen. First goal from a defenseman for us in this series. Is that enough? 3 minutes left, and Petrov scores with 1:31 remaining. And of course, it couldn't have gone any other way. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. We are going to overtime in Game 7. I gotta be honest, as far as the rules are concerned, I don't really feel like changing them just to have to change them back. No icing. And, well, in fairness, with the penalties and everything, I'll fix it afterwards. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go on to the default full sim, and we're going to turn off icing and penalties down to 2. I feel like that's fair. Of course, injuries will be off as well. They are typically off in the series, and I'll be resetting everything back to what it normally is with what I showed you at the beginning of the episode. So we are good to go. I am not going to be changing. Oh, God, did we play on? People are going to want me to play on True Broadcast. Only thing I'm doing is bumping up user strategy adjustments that the AI changes my strategy so that I don't have to within Coach Mode. Coach Mode only allows me essentially to skip replays. So let's do this. Of course, it's coming down to this. Game 7, we go to overtime. Winner take all. Eagles and Panthers. Boy, it wouldn't be a playoff series without a moment like this, would it? I don't think that it would be. Here we go. What will it take? It is 3-on-3. I don't know why. However, that does make it more likely that we get an early winner. Oh my God, it's selected to be a shootout. Imagine if a playoff game goes to a shootout. It might not. I have no idea why these settings are on. Oli Levy cuts back, looks, back post, and there it is. Mikko Rantanen. I don't believe I set that to be a 3-on-3 overtime, but you know what? Screw it. We want it fair and square. They played under the same rules that we did. Mikko Rantanen scores the winning goal. That sends the Espoo Eagles to the second round. Like it or not, that is the reality. We are moving on. Luukkonen outdeals who would have been the goaltender had he stayed. Rantanen buries it. 5-4 is your final in Game 7. 2-goal effort from Rantanen, a hat trick of assists for Brad Lambert. And the Eagles survive a scare. We are moving on to round 2 yet again. Again, we know that we'll be playing the New Jersey Devils. We'll get that confirmation before taking one look at the team stats for the first round. Florida put up one hell of a fight, but in the end, we had enough to get by them. And now we take on the Devils themselves in round 2. Capo Caco, 10 points is great, needs more goals. Simon Tyval, that is unacceptable. He needs to step up. Rantanen was phenomenal. Louis was hit or miss. Lambert was phenomenal. Ludman needs to step up, especially in terms of goals. Bjorkqvist needs to step up. Borgstrom needs to step up. Lehkonen needs to step up. Koivula, pretty damn good. Pirnez, pretty damn good. Lemico has an overtime winner, so I'm not going to complain. But maybe, just maybe, we reunite the Bjorkqvist to Louis Ludman line. Could be done. We have options up top. And then defensively, Olli was okay. Hikola was okay. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't expect these guys to be point getters, but those two taking up big minutes and shutting things down. Tirvainen needs to be better. Risto had a pretty damn good first round. Nunivara needs to step up, and Peltonen needs to not be a complete liability. And needless to say, we should not have gotten out of the first round with our starting goalie having a .906 save percentage, yet somehow, some way, we did. The second round takes place in the next episode. St. Louis and Calgary, LA and Vegas. In the East, Buffalo and Boston. We take on the Devils. We did not deserve to make it past Florida, but we did. And now we need to make the most of it. I thank you guys for watching. Drop a like because that's apparently the new most important thing in the YouTube algorithm. So please, if you would, drop the video a like to help out the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated, and I'll be able to buy my dog some more teas. I can't say the T word because she's right next to me, and she's had enough. She's a spoiled dog. I will see you guys next time. Thank you. I love you. And goodbye for now.